Hi, I'm your host Vasco Duarte. Welcome to the Scrum Master Toolbox podcast, where we share tips and tricks from Scrum Masters around the world. Every day, we bring you inspiring answers to important questions that all Scrum Masters face day after day. Hello, everybody. Welcome to our Thursday, the Success Day here on the podcast. And this week we have with us Drew Craig. Hey, Drew, welcome back.
Hey, Vasco, how are you? Happy Thursday.
Happy Thursday. Thank you for asking. I'm good. How about yourself? How's the energy level?
Oh, absolutely. I'm doing great. Beautiful day. Had my chance to go out and take a walk this morning, so everything is amazing.
And it is Thursday, so it's not too bad. All right, let's dive into this. So, Drew, we'll talk about what success means for us in a second. But first, do share with us, what's your favorite retrospective format and why?
So the retrospective, I will say I do like the Sailboat format. That may seem boring, but let me explain. The way it's structured is perfect for fostering the right types of conversation and putting it in a perspective that is easy for others to digest and relate to. So when we talk about an anchor holding us back, or the island to where our destination is, or the winds at our sail, these are things that are all very relatable to the folks that maybe you are asking to retrospect. Not everyone in the room is going to maybe be as familiar as we are with these tools. But that said, all these formats are just mechanisms to help foster that conversation. So realistically, any format or any way to facilitate a retrospective that's going to get folks to open up, maybe come on camera if it is virtual, to just be engaged and participate is the right format. So it's what do they say, that if the format is working, then it's the right format.
Yeah, absolutely. And how do you see like this type of metaphor retrospectives like the Sailboat? How do you see that motivating people to come on camera and kind of being more open? What do you think triggers that?
I think it's the ability for it to resonate. So those who are in the audience, they just understand. It's easy for folks to translate, oh, the wind's at my sail. So what are things that are helping me? And it may be loose enough and avoid too much specificity that folks just don't feel like they have something to contribute. I just think it's ambiguous enough, but also specific enough to help foster the conversation. But again, without the right facilitator, without the right trust within the team, it's not going to work. Just because there's pictures on the screen or pictures on the wall, it really takes the facilitator.
Yeah, that's a great tip. Invest on facilitation, because it really can transform the conversations that the team has.
Yeah. One of the things that helped me as a facilitator for retrospectives is comfort with silence. You'll find it hard to get folks to participate if you don't give them an opportunity to speak up. And often, at least for me, as a Scrum Master, I fell into the trap of filling the void. And I thought that I was helping, right? I was being open. I was wearing my heart on my sleeve. I was trying to reflect on things that maybe I observed to just spawn the audience to feel comfortable. Like, oh, well, hey, if Drew brought it up and he was struggling, then I should feel comfortable. It didn't work out that way. And me having to learn how to be comfortable with silence and ask better questions, more open-ended questions, that was the thing that made the difference.
Yeah, absolutely. Be comfortable with silence and ask more open questions. A few weeks back, we interviewed someone who was exactly emphasizing this lesson and also saying that it was the silence that helped the team gain the courage to talk about a very difficult topic, right? Because it takes time for people to gain the courage to approach difficult topics.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
So, Drew, that was the retro. Now we turn our attention into ourselves, the role of the Scrum Master, and we talk about success and what it means for us. So, Drew, share with us, what does success mean for you as a Scrum Master?
Success for me is when the teams or leadership or the system that I'm interacting with, that's probably a little bit more relatable now, starts to get it. And by that, what I mean is they start to understand the bigger picture of why we're doing the things that we're doing. Often I hear, yeah, that's great, Drew, but why are we doing that? Why are we doing that? And they seem to struggle when we introduce any kind of change, whether we start working in agile ways of working, we start adopting a Scrum framework, or we start working with Kanban, or we start to introduce metrics as validation or indicators of the things that we're achieving. But the question always comes back as why. And so my success, what I look for in success is when we understand why we're doing these things. And the reason is because it helps us see past the nuances of the practices and the processes. And it helps us to think a little bit more macro towards delighting our customers, towards meeting those outcomes, towards rationalizing how we know that we've provided value. So did we meet the intended outcomes that we hope to achieve? Are we looking at metrics and garnering insights from these metrics to validate the decisions that we made? Because it really is all assumptions until we get validation from our customer that the right thing was delivered. That's my measure of success. When I hear the right conversations with the right folks around the right things.
Yeah, and to be clear, these right things are what you said a moment ago, right? Like thinking about outcomes, how do we make customers happy, how do we deliver value, and then ultimately, how do we validate our assumption of what was valuable?
That's right. That's right. Some of the things that we're introducing into the organization now is a little bit more around, you might hear referred to as prod ops or product operations. But if you think about the work that we do a lot in support of our product organization. And we certainly want to strive towards a more product-led organization over a project-led organization. You heard me mention value streams in one of the previous episodes, but when we start to just think about our system as a collection of products, and we start to think about the things that we're doing in support of our product organization, when we incorporate agile ways of working or these different frameworks, at the end of the day, we want to help the product organization to deliver these outcomes. Now, obviously, it's not done in a silo. They need their development team, they need their analytics, they need their UX folks, they need QA, right? That's our cross-collaborative team. But when we deliver something in hopes of solving a problem or filling an opportunity space, we also want to incorporate these metrics or understanding our customer insights or understanding the market or providing frameworks like, are we all building roadmaps in the same way? Do we have release plans? Are we helping the teams to foster and adopt story mapping or feature mapping? These types of exercises to really help to hone in on delivering the right things at the right time.
Absolutely, and this shift from project-led organizations to product-led organizations. That's a huge shift, and it messes with our very basic processes. Like, for example, how do we finance work, right? The project is financed as a single big bang upfront planned project plan. Products are not financed that way. You invest in products and then you let the teams find out what is valuable. There are some tremendous shifts in how we manage organizations when we do that shift from project to product.
Yeah, I love that point. You're absolutely right, and I think that's probably a whole nother topic. Is
that's probably a whole week of episodes.
Moving into HR, moving into finance. There's so many amazing opportunities in front of us. It's certainly bigger than just IT, which I think we all recognize now. But as we increase our sphere of influence across these organizations, we do start to unravel the onion a little bit more. It's very interesting.
Absolutely. And maybe we talk a little bit more about that tomorrow on Friday when we come back for our product owner episode. Drew, thank you very much for sharing the stories today.
Oh, absolutely. Thank you.
Part of a successful Scrum Master job is to help the product owner. Tomorrow we explore that critical role in Scrum, the product owner role. Tune in to learn about product owner anti-patterns, what you can do to help the product owner, and a real-life example of what a great product owner is and what made it so. Tomorrow on our Friday product owner episode. See you tomorrow. We really hope you liked our show. And if you did, why not rate this podcast on Stitcher or iTunes? Share this podcast and let other Scrum Masters know about this valuable resource for their work. Remember that sharing is caring.